I'll have a better monitor of all these things someday, but today, follow the show. And if you'd like to directly, talk a little bit about, talk some cash shit, anything, if you'd like to talk about your bike, anything that we're talking about on the show, covering anything that we're not, anything you would like to cover, an upcoming event, what you do, your badass projects, what you do every day for motorcycles, with motorcycles, on a motorcycle, whatevs, you're welcome to send an email. That's radiorobcast@gmail.com. 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 That's right, radiorobcast@gmail.com. And we will return all emails that you send to radiorobcast@gmail.com. You can listen anytime. Also on YouTube. That's Rob, first word Rob, R-O-B. Last word, capital C Zombie, Rob C Zombie on YouTube, Rob C Zombie on YouTube. You can listen to this. Audio will be on YouTube. You can listen anytime. Or there are also a couple other cool little videos that I put on there that you're welcome to check out. Only two other things, guys, and then we're back to the program. Facebook, Robert Cole, Zombie in parentheses on Facebook. You can check, you can correspond that way. Twitter, that's Robert Cole at Robcast Radio on Twitter. That's Robert Cole at Robcast Radio on Twitter. And I'll switch around, put the correct Twitter and everything on here on my info. And my apologies for that not being correct. If it isn't, it should be. But if not, I will get in there into the system and do it some justice. So follow the show those ways, guys. Show us some love. Tell your friend. And rock and roll. So the Alta Motors Redshift. Well, what we have here, the Alta Motors Redshift, is the Alta Motors Redshift MX Electric Motocross. Well, what we have is basically it's supposed to be in the 250F class. I don't know if they're running it in any of the events or anything like that yet. However, let's just think about this. A complete electric off-road motorcycle for motocross. I do know that Dirt Rider magazine got their hands on it and they gave it a good review. So check out Dirt Rider magazine's review of the Alta Motors Redshift. And it seems like, it doesn't seem definitely, the Alta Motors Redshift was built to be in the 250F class. It's a cool looking bike. The first thing that you notice is it does not have a shifter. Does not have a clutch. And it has the rear brake pedal. It has front brake. What it does not have is a shifter or a clutch. It's electric, and it's a gearbox on an electric motor is what it looked like to me. It's got a wet clutch system. And am I wrong, guys? Check it out for yourselves. The Alta Motors Redshift MX Electric. I don't have the pictures and stats in front of me or anything like that. I'm going on memory on what I read, a few days ago. But my question was, are there any electric motorcycles out there right now? And the answer is definitely the Alta Motors Redshift MX Electric. And I heard that that someone did something in one of the Red Bull challenges with one of these guys. And we'll talk a little bit more about it. I will look that up. I'll look up the Red Bull. Let me take a note here. Red Bull. I think that's what it was. Bull Challenge. Or Red Bull Off-Road MX, FMX, or whatever it was. But yeah, the Dirt Rider review was good. On the handlebar, like right where your thumb would go, like normally where your kill switch would be, it's got to where you can put it into different settings, up or down. And I think they said that it had 4 different settings for a different slip for the rear tire for spin, because you definitely for more of a novice, they said to set it on low, and then once you wanted to go full rip, then it would be all the way on 4. I guess, like I say, I'm going on memory, but yeah, the Altamotors Redshift electric motocross bike. It'll be something that we'll check out, and we'll let you know a little bit more about in the future. Now, let's just say you want to go buy, you drive a Tesla, and you want to go buy an electric motorcycle to commute to and from work, right? Well, then Victory has a motorcycle for you. Victory has the Impulse TT. I'm sorry. Okay, look, the Altamotors Redshift does not have a hydraulic clutch. I got that mixed up. It does not. I mean, it could. Do not think so, because it didn't have a shifter or a clutch handle or anything like that on it. However, the Victory Impulse TT, right, is a just straight out street bike, like a commuter bike. And it, for $19,999, you could get 54 horsepower, 61 foot-pounds torque. It goes 100 plus miles an hour. And it has a 6-speed hydraulic clutch, wet clutch. That's where I got the wet clutch. I'm thinking all wet clutch thoughts right now, guys. And then another guy. Look, this dude here, the Zero. These bikes look pretty interesting, to say the least. Now look, there are Zero motorcycles. They have one of them's the ZF 3.3 and the ZF 6.5. They range from like 7,600 to 9,400 after the tax credit that you get, because it's a full electric motorcycle. So I would check out the 2017 Zero motorcycles if you're looking for an electric bike. The 2017 Zero FX. Check this bad boy out. It has 78 foot-pounds of torque. It weighs less than 300 pounds, and it's belt driven. Okay, now another one. The Zero FX looks nasty, okay, but the Zero DSR, hold on. The Zero DSR is a freaking dual sport, right? It's basically, look at the Zero motorcycles. You'll see what I'm talking about. The Zero DSR is a dual sport with 116 foot-pounds of torque. So that son of a gun, that's got to be fun to ride. Now, I talked a little bit, I was getting all excited and all this stuff, man, about like, what are we going to do whenever cars go full autonomous? Like, what's up with that? Like, autonomous motorcycles, maybe? Are we going to have autonomous motorcycles? And I thought, surely, we're just going to have to park our bikes? I mean, how is that going to work? You know what I'm saying? It didn't even make sense to me that there would even be a thing. But guess what? Google, autonomous motorcycle in the making. Yamaha, right? Autonomous motorcycle in the making. And right now, BMW has one called the Vision, and fully autonomous motorcycle. Not only that, check this out. Okay, so we've got the BMW Vision. Yamaha's got an autonomous coming out. Google's got an autonomous. All these guys, autonomous motorcycles coming out, right? And then I had no idea. And I look in there, Yamaha has Motobot. Motobot gets on a fucking motorcycle and rips that bitch around the racetrack. It's an automated, it's a fucking robot that rides a motorcycle. So check out Yamaha Motobot and let me know what you think about that crazy guy. Now, okay. A Danish company has introduced are coming out with a motorcycle called the Nerve, Nerve, the Nerve by a Danish company. It'll go 300 kilometers per hour without a rider at all, period. Fully autonomous, Danish company called the Nerve. So there we go, man. Sure enough, we have the autonomous motorcycle will be a thing of our future. How will you feel about, I mean, literally, you could just sit back on the, well, could you sit back on the passenger seat of your own bike and let it just drive you from point A to point B? Like, it doesn't, it's wild. They're saying, how about the person that doesn't know, really how to ride? He could just hop onto one of these leader bikes or one of these bikes, and it would just, you get the full experience of riding a motorcycle without having to know how to ride at all. Right? I mean, it's cool. It's kind of scary. And what about the people that don't know how to lean and stuff like that? You can't just put, like, you just put anyone on this 300 kilometer per hour without a rider Danish Nerve, and somebody that's never even been on a motorcycle before with their girlfriend on the back, and see where they skip off the road down the highway between here and Houston, 45 miles away, 50 miles away. Because for someone that's never been on a motorcycle, could you imagine just you and your girl jumping onto a bike and it driving you to where you go? The first time that it leaned hard into a curb or had to correct itself, I think people would be jumping off. I mean, that's your gut instinct. You gotta, once you've been there for, 30 years or so, 30, wow, never mind. And now, so yeah, that's the Nerve. Yeah, check out the Nerve. And check out Yamaha's Motobot. Go Motobot. And I'm thinking, man, what are like one of the stories that sticks in my head from like that really like before I ever really was riding or anything like that was Pops. Oh, Pops, my daddy worked at Myers Hydraulics in Houston, Texas. And I don't know why, but whenever I would go up there, sometimes at work to work with him, this was before I was even in school, so I had to only have been 5 years old. That one of Pop's coworkers, like during their coffee breaks or whatever, I would like point over at his motorcycle and tell him fucking ride a wheelie, and he would get on his bike, and it was like it had to have been a Z1R. Or it could have been a ZX900, or it could have possibly been a big Suzuki inline 4-cylinder. It was definitely a big inline 4-cylinder that he was getting on, and he would like put his knees on the seat and ride wheelies down the road and back. Stand up on the bike while he's riding a wheelie, but he definitely would always like put his knees on the seat and ride wheelies like that. And I thought that was the coolest fucking thing on the planet, that this dude just at command, he would like throw on his helmet, go out there and start busting wheelies out on the street. And then one of the like craziest things I've ever seen, I don't know if you all watch Nitro Circus. On Nitro Circus, they have a gentleman by the name, they just call him Street Bike Tommy. Well, Street Bike Tommy, if you've ever watched Nitro Circus, if not, Google it. Just YouTube Nitro Circus, and check out Street Bike Tommy's jump into the foam pit. This is where Street Bike Tommy is like trying to get into full-fledged into the Nitro Circus, I guess. And he was like, "That's all right. I'm gonna jump my." It was a crotch rocket, and it was I think it was a YZF R6, maybe something like that. But it was a crotch rocket. And if you've ever seen Pastrana's foam pit, it says don't turn right, of course, but it's got a ramp ramp goes up, and whenever you do your stunt, you land in the foam pit. Well, you've got to watch. I'll see if it's on YouTube, because I'm almost positive it has to be the stunt bike, the street bike